We're talking with Steve Fraser, the Greco-Roman national coach. And Steve, just give us kind of a brief update on what's been going on with the Greco program. I know we had some teams over in Europe the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we just had a great fall season overseas where we had 3 champions in Vantaa in Finland. Jamil Byers, Justin Reese, and Brad Veering all won gold medals. And besides them, we had a lot of seconds and thirds, so very good performance there. And then we went to Haparanda, and in Haparanda we had Sam Hazewinkle win the gold, and we had another quite a few seconds and thirds there as well. So, and I think we won the overall team title over there. So we're real happy with our performances, and we had good performance in France too at the Henry Deglan tournament.
We're about 8 months out from the Olympics. What events do we have coming up as far as preparing our teams for the nationals and then our Olympic trials?
Well, right now we're preparing our team for the winter tours that are coming up and for the Pan Am Championships, which is our first Olympic qualifier that we still have to qualify 3 of our weight classes at. So December we're doing a real hard cross training and a lot of volume conditioning, and then starting January we'll be at our January training camp where all of our best Greco wrestlers come into Colorado Springs and train for a couple weeks, and then from there we'll go to Turkey, and some guys will go to France, and we have the many winter tours, the Dave Schultz Cup, the Chicago Cup, and then the World Cup. So we have many tournaments and tours coming up in January, February, March-ish.
Take us back to Baku a couple months ago. I mean, you've had some really good teams at finishing third a couple of times, and you've been close to winning that team title. This year, the guys came up with a phenomenal performance and got the job done. I mean, what was the difference with the team this year?
Well, I think the main difference with our team this year was they actually came together as a unit themselves. We had a lot of great leaders on this team: Brad Veering, Justin Reese, Jamil Byers, Harry Lester, Lindsey Durlocker, all great leaders, and T.C. Dancer, a veteran. And I think they all were on a mission themselves. It wasn't like coaches telling them what we were doing. They knew what we were doing and took pride in that and took ownership in that. And I think that made a big difference. And then the other thing that helped us was we had experienced some adversity in the Pan Am Games going down to Rio this year. And I think that was good because it forced us to overcome some things. And when we got to Baku and experienced some adversities as well prior to the competition, guys just kind of floated with it, and they didn't let anything frazzle them, and they prepared like they needed to prepare, and all had great attitudes, and I think it was that great attitude that helped us do so well.
What were the emotions right at the end? I mean, Jermil comes through, obviously wins a bronze medal, needed some help, and then Lopez from Cuba comes through to beat the Russian. I mean, it was a pretty wild, emotional scene. I mean, what was that like for you guys?
Oh, it was great. I mean, for us to win the world title in Greco-Roman wrestling, was a dream come true for us. A lot of Greco-Roman coaches and athletes and supporters through the years have worked very hard. So this was a very, very special moment for us. And, we didn't know if we were going to win it until the last match, as you know. And but we knew Byers had to win first, and he had to finish strong, winning the bronze medal. And when he did that, there was still one last crucial match that had to take place, and that was against Lopez from Cuba and Barov from Russia. And we knew the Cuban could beat the Russian, but we weren't sure it was going to happen. And so when the Cuban beat the Russian, it was like I was probably in shock. I just looked around, I saw Rich Bender one side of the gym, and I saw John Bartis, our sponsor, and then Momir and Anatoly, our coaches, and we all just kind of came together and celebrated, and people probably thought we were crazy because I don't think people in Azerbaijan really knew that the team title was at stake with that last match. But so it was a history-making moment for our Greco program, and one that we all feel very, very good about.
How do we carry that momentum into the Olympic year? Because I know there's a lot of guys that have been close to being world champs, like Gavering, and Jermeel's been a world champion, but Harry Lester's been close too. I mean, how do we carry that momentum now into the Olympic year?
Well, the way we carry that momentum is we, one, don't get big-headed, and we don't rest on our laurels. And two, we prepare for these Olympic Games like never before. Like we didn't win the Worlds last year, and we still have to prove ourselves. And if we do those things and do the right things, get to the right number of competitions, get the right number of international matches in that we need to get in to prepare us, and then to prepare in the practice room properly, stay healthy, we're going to have a great opportunity and put ourselves in great position to make history at this Olympic Games in Beijing.
And speaking of making history, you did that, in 1984 in the Olympics in Los Angeles, winning a gold medal. I mean, when you think back on that, I mean, what stands out is just, when you think about the memories of winning that gold medal?
Well, winning the gold medal in 1984 for me, again, was a dream, personal dream come true for me, and something that I'll remember, of course, the rest of my life. It was a good feeling. I mean, I had dreamt about winning an Olympic medal for many, many years, and it was no easy task for me to even make the Olympic team. I had to beat a very tough opponent, Mike Hauk. There was no guarantee I would even make the team, but for me to make the team and win the first Olympic gold medal for our country is something I'm very proud of. But more so, I'm proud of the fact that we had a major breakthrough that year, and we won 4 medals with Greg Gibson, Jeff Blatnick, and Jim Martinez all winning medals as well. So that, in my mind, was the real important thing. We made a huge, big stride in Greco.
And then let's go back. You were part of maybe the biggest moment in Olympic wrestling history when Rulon Gardner upset Alexander Karelin. I mean, thinking back on that now, what really stands out? Because, I mean, nobody really gave Rulon any kind of a chance to beat this guy.
Yeah, everybody thought that, of course, Karelin was going to win his 4th Olympic gold medal. I'm not even sure what Rulon thought exactly. I know he thought he could, if he gave his all, he'd be in the match. But again, needless to say, for Rulon to beat Alexander Karelin, the guy that hadn't been beaten in 13 years, he'd never heard any other country's national anthem played except for his own, when he stood on the podium at the end of a tournament. For us to dethrone him and beat him was just so tremendous, and for it to happen to Rulon Gardner, who is such a well-deserving guy and such a great athlete for us and a great role model for kids, I don't think it could have been better. So it was a great moment for us too in Sydney, and with Rulon beating Karelin, and we shocked the world. But that's what makes it fun, is to try to do the impossible.
We're building more depth in Greco now, and the USOAC program at Northern Michigan's had a big role in that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've always called our program up at Northern Michigan our secret weapon, and basically it's our one program or connection from our high school age kids, to our senior program. And before this program, we were losing, of course, most of our kids to the normal college ranks because they wanted to get their college education, which of course is very important. So this program allows them to do that and get their college education while training full-time in a full-time professional Greco program. And I think with Ivan Ivanov and Jim Grunwald, the 2 coaches up there, they're the perfect people for that program. They're great coaches. I'm so happy that made this commitment for our program to be up there. And they proved it successful with athletes like Harry Lester winning his 2nd bronze medal this year in Baku. And they've got numerous other guys that are like right in the hunt, number 2, number 3 guys. Joe Betterman, of course, number 1 guy as well, besides Harry. So it's a great program for us. And of course, the United States Olympic Training Center here in Colorado Springs, we could not do this without that program. Absolutely, without a doubt. The resources and the programs that they offer here in Colorado Springs for our Greco-Roman wrestlers is the biggest factor of why we're able to succeed in Greco now. We've been able to bring everyone in, and we have great coaches here. I've been lucky to surround myself with Momir Petkovic, Anatoly Petrosian, Ike Anderson, great coaches, and with the programs and resources that they allow, it's really helped put Greco on the map.